What's up, squeegee slingers? Tradman here. Thank you very much for tuning in once again. It is really much appreciated. So over the next coming little while, we're going to be talking about a new playlist called Squeegee Skills. Now, what is this playlist going to be all about? Well, it's going to be about the basics of traditional window cleaning. Things like loading your squeegee rubber, using a ladder, choosing your solution, techniques in the hand, on a pole, all this kind of stuff is all going to be included over the next few videos entitled Squeegee Skills. So let's kick off Squeegee Skills with video number 1, which is all going to be about loading your squeegee rubber correctly to make sure we don't leave anything but left on the glass. We don't really want that, do we? We want nice, clean, professional looking glass at the end of the day. So let's kick off with a squeegee rubber video. Hello and welcome to the first in the series of Squeegee Skills. So the first lesson today, the first little tip we're going to give you is sorting out your squeegee rubber. Now today we're looking at, this is the Moerman Liquidator channel. We've got Moerman rubber and these are the Unger green clips. So we're going to take you step by step how we load the rubber into the channel, making sure there's no lumps, bumps or wriggles along the rubber. We don't want any solution being left behind. We want to make sure everything's sorted. So what we'll just quickly show you, you'll need to get yourself, if you're using something like the Moerman rubber, you'll probably need something along the lines of this, which is the Unger end clips. Okay, we'll have a look at those. Alright, so that's the Unger end clips. So you can see I've taken quite a few out of there. So I've got quite a few squeegees and they're all in every single one. If you're using Accelerator Master Soft Rubber, as they call it, it's a bit of a thicker bulb, so it stays in the channel nice and snug. You probably won't need these Unger green clips, but for using something like this, which is the Moerman Soft Rubber, it's a little bit loose in the channel, so you'll need something just to give it a bit of a hold. So what we're going to do is show you how to load the rubber in the channel correctly. So here we have, this is a pretty brand new piece of rubber actually, so pop that in the water. That's what we do first, just give it a bit of a soak. Now depending on the thickness of the bulb, this will either slide in really easy or it'll be a pig to get in. Now to make it a little bit easier, what I would suggest doing, we've said in previous videos before, is put it in just a little bit like so, and then use some of your soap and pop just a little bit. Oh, that's just squirted out a little bit too much. Oh well, better too much than too little, I guess, but that's definitely going to slide along the channel now. So now we've got a bit of soap just in front of the rubber where we're going to be pulling it along, and that will enable the rubber to slide along the channel nice and easily all the way along. So you'll notice yourself sometimes if you haven't dunked it in water, haven't put soap on the rubber, it might be quite difficult to pull that rubber across, but as you can see here, we're doing it nice and easily, just pinching with 2 fingers and in it goes, just as easy as that. Now the beauty of this being all soaked up as well from end to end is basically going to mean that those green clips are easier to get in. Now I've had a couple of messages recently from people saying that when they put the green clips, what happened was the rubber bunched up along the channel, so it was all wavy, which is no use. That'll leave solution behind. We want it nice and straight. So how do we get straight rubber and still get our clips in? Well, what we'll do is we'll grab one clip. What I normally like to do is push the rubber out a little bit like so, so you've got a few mil of rubber showing at the end, so by the time you've popped your clip in, which normally pushes your rubber down, it is then flush at the end. Okay, so I've not had to stretch it or pull it or anything like that. I've just pulled the rubber out a couple of millimeters, maybe around about 3 millimeters out from the channel, push your green clip in, and then it should line up flush. Okay, and we'll do it the same with the other side. Now because it's all wet and all slimy from your soap, sometimes I, just as a recommendation, like to use a microfiber cloth just to hold the rubber, put your thumb on it and push the rubber up. Okay, so what that's going to do is give our excess bit of rubber at the end. So we'll just pop our clip in, and because like I say it's nice and wet and all the soap's on the rubber, it should push in nice and easily, and there you have it. Okay, so our rubber is lined up at that end and it's lined up at that end. If it's too short, so the rubber is down to about here, it will leave lines, and if it's too long you'll get problems as well. It needs to be flush, it needs to be completely straight with the blue clips. So that is how you set up your squeegee. We've got our blue clips in place. You'll have a look at the rubber there. There's no lumps, bumps, wriggles or niggles. It's all looking lovely. So that is that channel. Now with the liquidator it's nice and easy, just a spring loaded mechanism, and we'll just pop that in there like so and line it up with my, this is a homemade 16-inch, so I've made my own lines there and there. So that is it, ready to go. Okay, so that's the liquidator. Now with the accelerator, just so you know, for those that haven't used it before, it's the same method, but it's got a slightly different mechanism to the accelerator. There's a spring inside of there, so what you need to do is either pivot the handle all the way that way or all the way that way. Because I'm right-handed, I prefer doing it that way, and just pinch that spring like so. Okay, so as hard as you can, and then slot it onto your squeegee like so, and then just pop it in the middle so there's an equal gap either side, and that's your accelerator handle ready to go. So it's the same method putting your rubber into this channel as it is on a liquidator handle. It's exactly the same channels, just different handles, but that is how you get your channels in and out of the accelerator handle and the liquidator handle. Okay, so now that we've got our squeegees loaded up, it's time for lesson 2, which is using the ladders.